I wish I were pretty. I thought this was an extremely thoughtful, provoking, and political piece. And it was a great framework for having these politicized conversations about being a woman, about being a racialized woman, and about the sense of security and identity that comes from that, and the real mental health struggles, and trying to find people who understand and not having to constantly re traumatize yourself to explain the different cultural settings and backgrounds for these belief systems. I thought the performances were great. They felt very impassioned and authentic. And I think it was just a really lovely piece to allow the viewer to sit and let these conversations wash over them, especially placing it in a therapist setting. For a lot of it, I thought was really impactful. And I feel like I learned a lot, and I'm wanting to hear people out more about these conversations and not perpetuate some of these standards. So I thought this was a really great piece.
I wish I were pretty. I loved the cinematography in this. I thought that the filmmakers did such a good job with that. It was absolutely stunning. The story was very, very relatable. And I think that's a thing, especially for women. I think it was really relatable. And I know Korean culture can be very obsessive about physical beauty and just really putting such an emphasis on that. And that's a lot of pressure for anyone, whether you're Korean or not Korean, but especially for Korean women, I think that's a lot of pressure. I liked how they told this story and how it explored a lot of very relevant and deep issues. It explored the bonds of friendship, and it explored self-love too, which I thought was great. I think you guys did a fantastic job.
This film, I Wish I Were Pretty, focuses on this girl and her expectations of herself and the crazy unrealistic beauty expectations that affect her and her self-worth, and how much it especially affects Asians, and in this case, Korean women. She feels like she will always have to live to Western beauty standards because it's what she's faced her whole life, and it's been ingrained into her culture and her family and her friendship and her overall understanding of the world. It also focuses on what these standards influence young Korean girls to do. They get this dangerous eyelid surgery to make their eyes bigger, and conforming to Western beauty standards. She spent so much of the time comparing herself to her friend who would face the same problems, and ends up coming clean to her about her own issues and getting the surgery. In the end, she really learns her worth and works on remembering how beautiful and important and wonderful she is, and she feels less alone. And I think the message of the film is really important.
I really liked I Wished I Were Pretty. I think it had a really good point to make points. It had some really good points to make about like Korean society, Korean culture, Korean beauty standards, and also while also making great points about womanhood, personhood overall, and then also making really good points about like therapy and cross-cultural therapy. I thought all of those because I remember being black and in therapy with a white therapist slash black therapist and the differences in experience. And I thought this covered those nuances very well, like across the board. All the nuances and all the different conversations and all the different points that they made were like handled with skill. And also told a good story that was uplifting and encouraging, and it wasn't just doom and gloom. Like, and also had good acting and good writing and good cinematography. Like, I think on every level it holds up. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. So great job, yo. That's my definition of a masterpiece. Enough said.